Today we're revisiting the low player base games that need love with a bit of a twist. I've selected games from either my childhood, which are games that I've never heard anyone speaking about, or it's from a Reddit post where I asked indie developers to show me their game. And let's get right into it with the first game. First up is Vertigo, and I have plenty to say about this game, and we'll get to that at some point, but before I sway you one way or another, here's an interview with one of the actual developers, and you can make your own opinion before I cloud your judgment. So here it is. Hello, we're here today with Misha, the developer of Vertigo, with Wednesday Work Games. So for those of you who haven't seen the game, or whoever has not seen Vertigo, can you give us a quick summary of what the game's about?
Yeah, of course. So Vertigo is a puzzle game. It's a little bit like Portal, where you have the room-based puzzles, but then you have gravity shifting, and we also have built-in speedrun leaderboards. And even for the people who want it, a bunch of different collectibles to collect for those collectors among you.
It's interesting that you brought up Portal straight away. I was going to at some point. Is it inspired by Portal at all, or would you consider it your own sort of design and idea?
Yeah, it's definitely a bit inspired by Portal, but also we really wanted to make sort of a really out-of-the-box puzzle game where you can solve puzzles in many different ways. And really give that feeling of creativity. In that sense, a bit like Breath of the Wild, where you really are finding ways to solve puzzles, where you're thinking, I don't think the developers have thought of that.
Yeah, that sounds definitely true. From my playthrough, I definitely had the way that probably wasn't the intended method of solving the puzzle, but a way.
Yeah, I wanted to say, we really want to scratch that itch where you're really feeling like, oh, this is a puzzle, but I don't know how to solve it, and I don't think I did it correctly, but I did it. And yeah. That's what we really wanted to capture, you know?
So if somebody hasn't seen the game today, what would you say to somebody that was on the fence about trying the game for the first time? How would you sort of sell it to them?
I would say, yeah, if you enjoy puzzle games and stuff that really makes you think outside of the box, there's no reason not to try the free demo on Steam, so just try it out. There's a couple levels in it. And then see if it's for you. Yeah, we have a free demo, and then if you like it, you can buy the full game, and if you don't, well, I would recommend you don't buy the full game, of course.
Sure. Do you think anything else makes the game special out of interest?
Yeah, I think what really complements our game really well is that we have a pretty active Discord community, and especially for the people who want to try speedrunning, there are so many people who are constantly coming up with new stuff, and new strategies and sharing clips of, oh, I got this new world record in a new crazy way. Yeah. And those players pushing each other has really been a really big drive for me, because we have the demo already on Steam for a couple of years, or some different iterations, and that really helped us to foster this community. And to the real hardcore players of Vertigo, those have really been a big drive.
Yeah, I'll play one of the clips for the guys on the YouTube video. Some of the world records are absolutely insane. I just can't believe that somebody came up with them. And it's I looked at the leaderboard and I was like, 3 seconds. And I think when I was streaming it, called the guy Joshua a cheesehair, and I was like, there's no way he fucking did that. But I saw his video, and it's phenomenal what they've worked out how to do with that. Were you surprised at their ability to do that?
Oh, absolutely. I was flabbergasted the first time I saw it. Yeah. And what's also been really cool to see is that we have 2 leaderboards per level. So we have one for how fast you can complete it, purely time-based. And then we have one for the fewest amount of gravity moves that you can do. So try to beat it as optimally as possible with as little moves as possible. But then when people find the minimal move solution, they still have a leaderboard as well, where they are time-based. So
yeah, I think that's
you have basically 2 routes for every level, which is also pretty fun. Like, we see that some people in the community prefer a bit more trying to find the minimal move solutions and trying to kind of break those barriers. So that's also been pretty cool.
For the dedicated people that have been playing the game for a long time, can you expect any sort of new major updates to the game, or will you say it's more bug fixing these days?
Well, of course, we keep listening to our community, and our biggest focus right now is definitely bug fixing or improving aspects of the game that people find frustrating. But never say never. In the future, who knows what might happen? But I'm not promising anything yet.
No, sure, no, that's fair enough.
But it's great fun.
And is there anything that you'd like to say to the viewers or the potential sort of buyers of the game at all?
So whether you're in it for experiencing the story and piecing that together, for the fun puzzles that you can solve, the speedrunning aspect, or collecting all the achievements, I would recommend just try out the free demo and see if you like it.
Yeah, lovely. Awesome. Thanks for the time. I really appreciate it. And for what it's worth, I do hope that the game gets more views and gets you some more sales and reviews, because it definitely deserves it. You can see the time that you guys have put into it, especially if there's only 3 or 4 of you. I imagine this took probably years to make. So yeah, I hope that everything goes well. And yeah, if anyone's watching, please do go and have it, at least check it out, and at least play the demo and see what you think of it.
Yeah, thank you so much for this interview.
Yeah, no
Best
problem.
of luck.
And that was the interview I had with Misha. Really nice guy. That was heavily edited down. We did speak for probably about half an hour. And if you want to see the unedited interview, please let me know in the comments, and I will also upload that. And please also go over to the Steam page, buy the game, and if you like it, please leave a review, or at least play the demo like we were saying in the interview. I think this game is as good as Portal, and yeah, I will die on that hill. Fight me in the comments. I think it's a brilliant game, and if you think otherwise, let me know. But as much as I would like to, it is time to move on to the next game. Let's say farewell to Invertigo and say hello to another game. And next up is an absolute favourite of mine. It's Hidden in Plain Sight by Adam Spragg. And starting off with Ninja Party here, which is the introductory game. I'll cover the interview later with Adam, but he said this is the game he wanted everyone to try first to get a feel of the mechanics. And as you guys can see on the screen here, there is no real clear indicator of who you as the player is. And that is intentional. You have to find yourself on the screen, try to touch all of the individual trophies, and you can hit people to kill them, and then throw a smoke bomb to dash away cunningly, as you'll see in a minute. So points to anybody who can spot me on the screen. I will, on the next clip, get a little red circle and be like, this is me. But for the first point, I thought it'd be fun to see it how the game was supposed to be seen. So yeah, comment down below who you thought I was, or where you thought I was on the screen, and let me know. But moving on slightly, as I alluded to earlier, I did have an interview with Adam, but unfortunately my PC crashed and I lost quite a significant amount of data, including the interview with him. So I'll try and relay what he said to me in the best words that I can. If you're watching, Adam, sorry if I butcher some of the things that you did say. So I started off the interview the way I always start off the interview, which is, for those of you that haven't seen the game Hidden in Plain Sight, give us a summary or an overview of the game. And he said that Hidden in Plain Sight is a local multiplayer party game, and he was very specific about it being a local multiplayer game. He didn't really like the fact that you could have online multiplayer, and he said it was a game that was meant to be played on the couch next to your buddies in that sort of old Mario Party style feel that you guys are probably aware of, or maybe, you know, reminiscent of the Nintendo 64 playing GoldenEye with split screen. He wanted that sort of feel. And he did also add that it was originally going to be a list of his ideas, and he was going to pick his favorite party mode and then build on that idea. But instead, he had all of these ideas, made all of these separate game modes, and thought, who am I to pick which one is the best? let's put them all in the game and then they can decide. But I'll order them in the menu in a way that makes sense in terms of accessibility and introductions to the game. So you have at the top, you have Ninja Party that you can see, or you did see earlier on the screen that we started playing here in front of you. And that's the most accessible, easy one to understand. And then it goes down the list in terms of complexity, or in terms of adding new mechanics or something new to change or alter the game modes. And I think that was a really clever way of doing it. I think Ninja Party was a great first game. Wasn't my favorite game, but was a very, very good introduction to Hidden in Plain Sight for sure. And speaking of favorite games, let me skip a few in the list so I can show you Death Race here. This is my personal favorite one. I love the tense build-up of this game and then the sudden sprint at the finish. Just to give you guys a quick layout, there are the rules on the screen there in front of you, but essentially it's the same as a Ninja Party in the sense that you've got to find who your own character is, and then you've got to get them to gently move, and you have to pretend to be an NPC while simultaneously wanting to get to the finish line first, but not being seen by any of the other players, because you are also equipped with a rifle with one bullet what is prepared to fire and take you out at a moment's notice. And I just love the perfect rise of tension, and then the sudden sprint at the end. It's my absolute favorite game, and yeah, I just think it's brilliant. But anyway, moving on to other parts of the interview with Adam. One of the questions that I did ask him was if there were any plans to add functionality for a keyboard. This game was originally released on the Xbox 360 and it was controller only, and he stuck with the decision of controller only, and I initially didn't see why you wouldn't add keyboard, but there was more to it than I initially thought, because as you can see, well, maybe less so in Death Race and more so in Ninja Party, you have a sort of 360-degree movement, whereas if you had a keyboard, you could only move up, down, left, right, and then perfectly in these diagonal movements. So it wouldn't just mean, oh, let's add the keyboard functionality for the player. You would also have to change all of the AI to move in the same or very similar fashion. Otherwise, it would be quite obvious who the player was amongst the AI who are able to move however they want and the player isn't able to move however they want. So I do actually support that decision that he made there, despite not knowing the reasons for it originally. He did spell it out for me a little bit there, and I think, yeah, that was a good move on his part. And that's really all I can physically fully remember from the interview with Adam. If you are watching Adam, if you'd like to fill in the gaps of some of the questions that I did ask, I would super appreciate it. What's your favorite game in Hidden in Plain Sight? What do you think makes your game unique or special? You'll probably remember me asking you these in the interview, but I'm sure the people in the video would like to hear it. Generally speaking, the game has got overwhelmingly positive reviews and it's done brilliantly on Steam. There are a few negative reviews. Do you think there's any merit in the people that are asking for online multiplayer? And are you working on anything else right now in terms of game development? There were other questions. If you remember anything that you said in the interview and you do feel like commenting, I'd super appreciate it. And I am sorry for wasting your time the other day, because none of the things that you said are in this video, and it really upsets me, and I am going to find a way to, in future, back up my audio recordings. But unfortunately, that is all the time we have talking about Hidden in Plain Sight. Please go check it out on Steam. It hit a big milestone of over 500 reviews, and it is climbing fast and becoming more popular again, a new surge, if you will. We're up to 814 overwhelmingly positive reviews on Steam, and I wish Adam all of the luck in the world to keep that growing on Steam. It's so cool that it's still around for this many years and people are still playing it. Please join that community, and thank you for your time, Adam, and thank you for making such an amazing game. But on to the next one. And then finally, last but not least on the list of hidden gems, we have Dwarfs, a game that came out in 2011. I played only the free-to-play version exclusively as a child because I could not afford the paid version, and now as an adult I can buy the paid version. But I definitely recommend you guys check out Dwarves. There is, like I said, free-to-play Steam page and a paid Steam page, and they coexist quite well together. You can try out the free-to-play, and all of your saves and achievements go across to the full game if and when you decide to buy the full game, so you're not losing out by trying and then buying. It's a really good system they've got set up, and yeah, I recommend giving it a go for sure. But anyway, selling stuff moment over. Let's talk about the actual game itself and the game modes and what you can do in the game and why I think it's so great. So arcade mode here is the traditional experience. You've got loads of difficulty levels, loads of time ranges, but you also have the additional modes like I'm going to show you just here. Let's say you were to pick normal mode in arcade and 30 minutes. That would mean you have a normal difficulty, and for 30 minutes you have to try and manage a small underground dwarf base and make it as rich as possible before either the timer runs out and you win, or you are destroyed by one of the various things that hazards that will make you meet your early demise. It's very difficult early on when you don't know what's happening, and then you'll feel the need to increase the difficulty. And my favorite game mode now is endless mode, and I've cleared out endless mode before and completely emptied the entire map. But there are even harder modes like dark mode, etc., etc. And hopefully this game clip in the background is giving you an idea of what the game looks like, and I'm also showing you some of the hazards along the way, like the lava that can destroy your base, and the water can destroy your base once it reaches that central portion. And you've also got enemies like the Shaman and Spider Queen, etc., that have different abilities in order to also really mess up your day and make it much more difficult for you to be a dwarf just wanting some gold. I won't go too in-depth about everything that you can do in Dwarves and all of the little secret extra stuff, and I'll leave it short and sweet for this final game recommendation. Please do check it out on Steam. Like I said, you've got nothing to lose, it's free to play, and if you want to get all of the additional modes other than the limited ones in free to play, you can buy it right now for £1.59. is 80% off in the Steam summer sale, and if you watch this after the summer sale ends, it is £8 in UK British monies. So yeah, that's the video. Like, comment, and subscribe, and watch the other stuff that I've got going on the channel. Yeah, bye.